All right, good morning, good morning. Hopefully everybody had a good week. It's almost the end of the week. It is Thursday as of this recording, and hopefully everybody's doing well. Let's go ahead and talk about the brand new breaking news that just happened. Just driving down the road, and I noticed that the Nintendo Switch 2 trailer just dropped, and I was like, wow, let me look at this. So I just looked at it and gave my thoughts and opinions, and why I think that this is absolutely the reason why I made that last video about handhelds. This is the wave of the future. And I mean, I'm not talking about like being, late to the party, like, oh, welcome to the party, VF, you should have known this. No, I'm dead serious. Like, this is seriously going to be the wave of the future. Nintendo was just ahead of the game. All right, so looking at the Nintendo Switch 2, you already see off the rip that they're making this handheld, this device, much more sturdier than the last Switch. It's kind of like, they're learning from their mistakes from the last one. The Joy-Cons was kind of flimsy. Some of it was breaking off. Some of it was not connecting. And it was a situation where, like, even to this day, my original Nintendo Switch has a connectivity issue with the right Joy-Con, which, I mean, it works, but it sometimes it syncs out. Even when you connect it, it still syncs out. It looks like they're trying to fix that because these Joy-Cons now look more sturdier. They look like they connect much better with a different mechanism. And it looks like it's going to be a much more, fortified console or handheld. It looks really, really good. I love the look, the sleek look. It looks like it's a mix between, like, hey, we're trying to make this thing as tough as it can be, but we're gonna give it the elegant sleekness of an actual brand new device. It looks great, and I love the way it looks. To be quite honest, off the rip, if I had my choice, I would not change any of the colors of the Switch 2 when I purchase one, because yes, I am buying one. My son is not going to let me, he's not going to let me get away with not buying one. But he may want different colors, but when I get one, I'm keeping it just like it is. It looks very good in that condition and in that shape and that color. I love it. Also, it seems like they're trying to make it more fortified or more sturdy, for you can like let it sit up in on a table, so you can play it on a table where you don't need a television or whatever the case may be, and it doesn't have to be docked or whatever. That's really good too, because the last couple of Switches that came out, the kickstand was not the best. It was okay, but it wasn't the best. So with that being said, it just had something that made it stand up. This time it seems like that the mechanism on this one is going to have more of a hanger style kickstand where the entire device is going to be standing up. That looks really good as well. I love that. Also, at the end of the day, I look at the joysticks. They look like they're going to be more it looked like going to be more flexible to move around. Not to say like the last ones wasn't, but you could tell that they have more. It looks like it's going to have more play in them, where it's going to be a little bit more responsive. Now, that's just me looking at the trailer. I don't know how it's going to actually officially pan out, but I mean, to be honest, the last joysticks on the Switch was not that bad. They were actually pretty solid. So it's going to be really interesting to see how they compare. But at the end of the day, the Switch 2 looks like it's going to be a home run out the gate. I was kind of skeptical of the first Switch. I did not like the fact that Nintendo was going full-fledged handheld, even though you can hang it up and put it to a TV and still have good success. But this go around, it looks like they've really made it to the point where even a guy like me that's a little skeptical is really on board with this. They look like they put out a very sturdy device that's going to be something that's going to really entice even some people that are kind of like on the fence. Now, as of late, I've gotten more open and more enticed by handhelds because of me knowing how bad I whiffed on the Switch, and my son was like on board from day one, and he's been loving it ever since he knew about the Switch. And I've just been sitting there watching him play some of these games. And when I started playing games on the Switch Lite, and I started to realize, like, wait a minute, some of these games are like really, really good. These are not just handheld games. These are console quality games in the palm of your hand. So when I started playing Breath of the Wild, Mario Kart 8, which actually Mario Kart 8 was just as good as the one on the Wii U, if not better, because of the content. When you started seeing some of these other games that they put out that were actually console quality, I was like, okay, I'm on board. I like this, even though that the regular Switch was kind of flimsy in my opinion, but the Switch Lite kind of got me on board. And if this new Switch is just as sturdy as the Switch Lite, I'm all in. And this is why I said that this is going to be the future of gaming in general. This is why Microsoft, this is why Sony is getting back to the handheld business, because Nintendo, once again, ahead of the curve of trying to make games, accessible, easy, and fun to play. And speaking of that, you look at Xbox right now, and the games that are supposed to come out later on in the next few years, they look okay, not too bad. Sony, you kind of don't know what they're doing yet with new games coming out for the PlayStation 6 or just coming out in PlayStation 5, and the PS5 Pro is kind of meh at best. Nintendo got the lane wide open to make some real damage into the console market. Real damage. If this console that they're coming out with the Switch 2 can give you real good quality console gaming, and I'm not talking about the quality that they did with the Switch. I'm talking about like serious console quality where you can hook it up to a TV and you still get like at the bare minimum PS4 Pro or even Xbox One X quality. It's going to be a problem for Sony and Microsoft, because first and foremost, the first parties that they got. I mean, come on. The first party Nintendo got basically knocks it out the park with anything that Sony and Xbox have. And if they can get their third-party games just as good, or if not, slightly below what Xbox and Microsoft got to offer, Nintendo could be number one easily again. I mean, like, easily. This is why I've always said, like, if Nintendo come out with the traditional console, I believe they would dominate the space wholeheartedly. But they're going to stay in their lane, and they're going to make their Switch, and which is absolutely fine at this point. If they make the Switch 2 as sturdy as it looks, and it's not a handheld that feels flimsy, and it feels like it can give you that high quality gaming, it's going to be a problem for the rest of the market. Nintendo has the IPs. All they needed, even since you can go back to probably the N64, all they needed was like legit third-party support. They get legit third-party support as a wrap for these other companies, especially now because, like I said, Sony first party was really good at one point. Now they're kind of falling off. And where's Xbox? It's like, what are we doing? So it's like now you give us that high-quality third-party gaming, it's going to be really tough to get your hands on it, on a Nintendo device, because it's going to sell like crazy. I mean, they'll catch up with demand at some point, but it's also going to be really hard to stay away from that device, especially if it's portable and you can play it on your television. A lot of people were making that comparison back in 2017, like, oh, it's portable, it's awesome, you can put it up to your TV. But the problem was the Switch was so inferior when it came to their third-party gaming. People was like, nah, I'm not going to sit here and try to play, 2016 Doom on here. I'm not going to play Mortal Kombat 1. Well, who's playing Mortal Kombat 1? But nobody's going to be playing, any of these third-party games that are going over to Sony and Xbox in better quality. But if Sony can, I'm not even Sony, but if Nintendo could get that together, it's going to be a serious problem for the rest of the market. Nintendo got something really special here, and it's a really good time for them to take advantage of it. And on top of that, and I haven't even mentioned that the console is backwards compatible with the first Switch. Man, it's going to be a serious problem. People with the regular Switch is going to jump over. People are going to jump over regardless because it's a Nintendo product. And then giving it backwards compatibility, similar to like how it was with the Wii and the Wii U, or not a good comparison, let's just say with the Wii and the GameCube, it gives people a reason to go ahead and jump ship anyway. And the Switch 1 has a great library, and then you bring like Mario Kart 9 over, you bring the next Metroid over, you bring in the next Mario over, you bring in the next Zelda over, you bring in all of these other games over to the Switch 2. then you turn around and get third-party support that's actually look like third-party gaming, where those games look similar, or if not, slightly below, because I don't think it's going to be anything that's going to be better than a next Xbox, or better than the next what's the game called, the console, the next PlayStation 6. I don't think it's going to be up to those standards or that quality as far as graphics and performance. But if they get it slightly under that, it's going to be a problem for the rest of the gaming market. I mean, even with the inferior product of the Nintendo Switch, you see how many units they sold. I mean, they're like, if not close to PlayStation 5, they're probably going to surpass PS5, and it's just absolutely amazing how well Nintendo just got this right. And then look, I'm on board. I'm buying a Switch 2. I'm getting one off the rip. Like I said, my son is not going to let me walk away without buying one. So that's already a given. And for myself, I'll probably get one down the road. I'm gonna let him play it. I'll probably play with the OLED and just see how he playing. And when he's not playing the Switch 2, I'll jump on it. But to get my own personal one, I'll probably wait a little bit later, because at the end of the day, it's all about my son, man. He loves the Switch, and I'm not going to be sitting around here with a Switch 2 while he doesn't have one. It's either we're buying both or he's getting one. So we're getting two or he's getting one. So it is what it is. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Switch 2 just been revealed. It looks like it's going to be a home run out the park. I think they learned from their mistakes. I am on board after being skeptical back in 2017, and I'm buying one pretty much day one compared to the Switch 1, where it came out in 2017, and I bought one pretty much damn near in 2020, 2021 or something like that. I bought it so late in the game, I missed out. But not this time. I'm not doing it. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Y'all give me your thoughts and opinions. I'm up out of here. Peace.